Okay.
What's up, Chiefs Kingdom? It's your boy Chris Style. You are tuned in to the Arrowhead Chief Podcast. Hope everybody's having a good day. Clarence is back, everybody.
We black. We black. We black.
We got some things.
I missed y'all, man.
We got some things we're going to speak on. Man.
Yes, sir.
Let's talk Chiefs.
Yeah. Arrowhead Chiefs. It's your girl, Miss Nicole. Queen of Hustle, baby. Started from the bottom, now we here. My homie at the start of his career. Let's go. Try to win him early, hear the truth. Tuning every Sunday for the juice. Arrowhead Chiefs Podcast, bringing all the news. If you missed the play, come back for reviews. Chris Style. Out here rapping for the crew. Post game highlights, go subscribe on YouTube. If you missed the play, come back for reviews. Post game highlights, go subscribe on YouTube.
What's up, everybody? We're back. Tuned in to the Arrowhead Chief Podcast, episode 133. Hope everybody's having a good day, like I said. What's up, fellas? How y'all doing?
I'm good. I guess ain't nobody else talk. They blew their tongue up on some fireworks.
Don't all speak at once. Don't get shy now.
You know what I'm saying?
You was talking trash earlier, Ty. Talking about my hat.
Yeah, what was up?
What's wrong with his hat? What I miss?
Clarence said my hat looked too tight. He said, I need to get a snapback. I said, I have a snapback. And then Ty said it's on the last one.
Your head couldn't breathe. Veins starting to pop out.
This is the reinvention of skinny jeans. Skinny hats.
Skinny hats.
Sleek for the forehead.
I got you. I'm gonna let y'all get I'm gonna let y'all get y'all stuff.
Hey.
Y'all ready for the fourth tomorrow?
Hey, Chris, look at it like this. It could be like a player to remain unnamed, like his forehead, but hey.
This is true. This is very true. Very true. Y'all popping fireworks?
Hey, at least out there let it go.
We pop them all the time. It's like World War III out here, even though it's illegal.
Well, wait, is it fireworks or is those gunshots?
Yeah, a little bit both.
Or does that only happen in Missouri?
A little bit both.
Yeah.
You go on the west side, it's gunshots.
Oh. Well, don't go over there.
You ever notice everything on?
I'm not.
Don't go over there.
I'm not.
And this is where I bust this U-turn. We're not going that way.
Stay on my side.
I'm not sure if it's a constant everywhere else though, but I know anything on MLK and anything is just never act right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. MLK, yeah, you know.
MLK, anything in any city.
Once you see that, you better turn around.
Yeah. That's close to Quindaro.
It's not as bad as it used to be. It's actually been gentrified a lot.
Yeah, it has.
You got Starbucks and all kinds of nice stuff.
Oh, so you can walk down the street over there. You can smile at people. Good afternoon. Hello.
Starbucks. I was like, what? On the west side?
Hello. Oh, yes, absolutely.
Did they know
you get an iced coffee.
Do you know what's across the street?
Right.
Do you know these people are robbing you? All y'all coffee.
Break all y'all sales.
It's been gentrified a lot. So let's talk about it, fellas. Now,
let's get into it.
Listen, I had put a disclaimer on the clip that I put out. I want Chris Jones to sign with the Chiefs. The Chiefs. I don't want to trade him. It was just
so why you say it, Chris?
It was a scenario that look. We gotta get it is slow right now. We gotta get content out here. People.
Yeah, we gotta get some good content.
And it was a hypothetical trade scenario.
You could have got two monkeys. You could have got two monkeys in Chiefs t-shirts tap dancing if you needed content before you throw that bull out there. You gotta be saying yourself.
That might be a little interesting. I might see.
Yeah, see,
he was
playing pick up the pieces. They tap dancing to pick up the pieces. Dun, 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 dun.
He was. And you know what? No, everybody got to chip. Everybody's got to tap into their inner Skip a little every once in a while, just a little bit.
It was a trade
not with Chris
scenario.
Jones.
Every once in a while.
Not with Chris
It
Jones.
was just a scenario. I'm not trying to
That's
trade
like
the man.
saying you're gonna trade 15 for Trevor Lawrence.
No,
we
we
trade
all know
you
he-
see-
15. I want all 20
You see?
of your first round picks.
Yeah, for the next
We start,
20 years,
and that's
no,
the
50
start.
years worth of first round picks.
Yeah, see?
That's
You
the
see,
base.
you see how crazy that sounds? Come on, Chris. Come on, Chris. Come on, Chris.
It was a scenario.
Mm-mm.
You woke up in the morning and saw, hey, Chris Jones been traded to the Minnesota Vikings for Justin Jefferson. What would your
Turn the
reaction
TV,
be?
turn the TV set back on, and cancel football for the year.
Well, you
Pass
know,
rush
Wouldn't
will
watch
be as
football that
good.
year.
Justin Jefferson.
well, you know, hypothetically, what would have happened? Though, had that for whatever reason that would have happened, everybody been going up after and blaming that guy.
Yeah. For real. For running his mouth and throwing it out there, putting it into the universe.
Why it gotta be my fault? Why can't y'all blame V?
You would have been the one to start the scenario.
It's
Exactly.
a
Not put the
scenario.
scenario out
I
there.
can't help them. I can't help them.
And then
Veach
Veach-
thinking about
Veach-
this.
Okay,
Veach
so
must have
let's,
seen it, and then
I got that type of.
okay.
yeah.
So
I'm
first
BJ
of all,
Kissel.
for Justin Jefferson,
I'm
I
Ryan
wouldn't
Tracy.
want Justin Jefferson anyway. Wouldn't want him anyway.
You wouldn't
Don't
know.
he struggle against press?
You wouldn't want Justin Jefferson?
Don't he struggle against press?
No.
No. Yes,
No. When?
You don't lead the league in receiving and receptions if you struggle against press.
that two things can be true.
I
You can
mean,
have
he struggled against Jair Alexander a few times, but
that's job. And plus, you usually struggle against. It's just like the Mike Evans, Marcus Lattimore thing. You gonna struggle against somebody in your division. They know how to play.
Yeah.
Right.
They play it.
Absolutely.
They should be studying your game. Yeah.
So Jair Alexander, he knows, he sees that tape.
And why? So why would it have to be a Justin Jefferson though?
It don't have to be. It could be, insert top receiver. Like
It could be Quentin Williams.
Stop, Ty.
I mean, it's possible.
No
Look,
damn
both
Quentin
of them
Williams.
waiting to get extended. Teams haven't paid them yet.
Stop.
I mean, I'm not saying it's
Stop.
possible, but
The only thing
See,
that
you see what you started, Chris? It's your fault.
the only thing that I
It's
was
your
saying,
fault.
the only thing that was realistically spot on was probably the timetable which he was projected, which said about mid-July. That sounded about right. So I'm like, there's no need. The 15th and everything, 14, 15, somewhere around there, be resigned.
he'll be resigned in next week.
Yeah.
Next
They go to
week,
camp. The rookies got to show up the 19th, and the vets
Yeah.
show up the 22nd. So yeah,
Mhm.
it's
That
coming.
sounds about right.
he'll have his nice contract by that time.
It's
he
coming.
should.
Be easy, Chiefs Kingdom. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna
Yeah,
be
he
all
coming.
right.
Yeah,
Be
he
all
coming.
right. He's in good spirits. You see him on Twitter and Instagram.
Yeah, he coming.
Still a good sport.
Chris just got bored, so he said, "Let me find a way to piss some people off."
How many?
I know, Justin Jefferson, Chris Jones.
Somebody heard that said unfollow. Click.
Yeah,
Yeah.
No, actually, a lady on TikTok said, "Come on, this looks generic."
She
Y'all
told
need
you
to
it
come
looked
with-
generic.
Y'all need. She was like, "This is generic. This needs to look better. You guys need to do better." I
See?
said, "Thanks for watching."
See,
That sounds like a political response. You need to do better.
then you
Do
get
better.
That's
them
somebody-
pockets of Chiefs fans that lose their damn mind.
That's
And
somebody
wanna
that fill out
turn on
surveys
you.
from Target.
Representing
Benedict Arnold.
Chiefs Kingdom. Well, man, you could always
It's a damn
You could also
Benedict
say-
Arnold.
donate to the Arrowhead Chief podcast.
Yeah.
Those are the ones that do the surveys. I get Dairy Queen and Target for a $5 off coupon from the next visit.
She probably one of them people that signed that petition for Pat to stop drinking. So,
Yep. She created the petition.
Those exist. Yeah, probably. I'm telling you. How you gonna tell a grown man he shouldn't drink? How you gonna say some shit like that?
They celebrating.
Yep.
Yeah, and she didn't like that he was drinking.
So
Well,
what?
Nah, probably the more so than the first go around when everybody was complaining about how classless they were. Well, technically they were drunk and everything, but they gonna do what they gonna do.
Did they not see Tom Brady? Did they not see Tom Brady?
It's not like he peed in her lunch. He did not pee in her lunch. All he did was
Tom Brady throw the Super Bowl thing across the boat.
Hey, low key, I was hoping to fall in the water just for a laugh.
Hoping Mike Evans would drop it.
They all drink in the parade.
Well,
look at the Denver Nuggets parade. Was it last week or a couple weeks ago? Mike Malone was up there. Mike Malone was lit up. The coach.
Yeah,
he got a right though. He got a right.
He does
because he one of the few coaches.
No, they all got a right to do it.
The Vegas Knights was worse. He was up there going crazy on that stage.
You ain't seen nothing about that about the Aces. Just saying. They got a walk. They ain't get no parade.
Shout out to the Aces.
Right.
Shout out to the Aces though. They out here dominating.
Right. Shout out to them for real.
Y'all got the MVP.
They out there balling. I gotta get out to win the games this year though. I'll humor and everything. Go out there, go support. Considering I ain't supporting that other team and that Roomba down there, I gotta support at least two teams, right? I can't do it.
We're definitely not supporting that team.
You should join the dark side. You should join the dark side. I'm like, yeah, they got a dark record and dark other stuff ever since the 2000s. I'm good.
The losing side.
Yeah.
Shout out to Mark Davis. So at least you got something going right.
They got some problems over there.
They got better
they
things to do with my time.
Problems.
Yeah, they got a lot of problems, bro.
I got better things to do with my time than to be bothered with that team in the black and silver.
Right. Or the one in Denver.
Yeah, them two.
Or the one in SoFi.
We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that. We got to talk about that Spaces the other day. It was funny as hell. That shit was funny as hell.
Yeah. I definitely missed that, Dan.
Oh, man.
No, you missed
it. It was cinema, baby.
Mm-hmm.
Sitting back watching them argue amongst each other. You just kick your feet up and say,
Broncos fans.
Let the kids argue.
What do they have a right to argue about? What are they arguing about?
They was cussing each other out.
Over what?
Denver, you ain't nothing. Chargers, you ain't do shit.
Second, third, and fourth.
Well, they got a big 0 next to the Super Bowl column and everything, so they got to argue for. That's hilarious.
All right, man. Let's get into some top 5 power rankings. Who are your guys' top 5 teams right now in the power ranking?
This is in both the AFC and the NFC, or this is just an AFC or
combined?
All right.
Oh, I thought this was just AFC.
I mean, we can do AFC, whatever y'all comfortable with.
Well, I think we're in agreement with the unanimous number 1, though. I can tell you that right now.
Regardless, the Chiefs are number 1.
That's right. Unanimous.
Right.
But man, I gotta kind of go back and do my homework a little bit. I would say Philly got to be up there somewhere. I like how they rebuilt and also brought in some of their brought some veterans back. They got a couple key aspects. Obviously, with that contract re-signing of Jalen Hurts and everything, that gives me confidence in bringing that back. Obviously, they still got their receiving core intact.
I got them number 2.
Yeah, me too.
I'm gonna go ahead and keep the Niners.
Now 3, 4, and 5 is kind of nice.
Yeah, that's sticky.
Yeah.
But I will say I will still keep the Niners up there. Granted, regardless of their quarterback situation. I mean, say what you want about their quarterback situation, but for this coach to get it done with Granted, they didn't make it with the success he had with Purdy, and granted with the success he had with Garoppolo, who was a average quarterback, he's been getting it done. It's like it didn't matter the quarterback for him. It was just a matter of just getting them to where their defense could be successful, which basically drives their offense. So they got to be in the top 5 respectively in there. As far as the other ones,
I'm gonna go ahead and put that team that we hate up there.
Yeah, me too. I'll probably put them ahead of the 49ers.
I got them at number 3.
I probably said the only reason why I don't have the 49ers, why I would have the 49ers slightly ahead, because of that division, though. Because especially because that's the difference, though. Like looking at their divisional setup, 49ers divisionals, I think they got a better chance of getting out versus Cincinnati.
Oh no, man! Seattle got better.
Seattle got a spot
and a healthy Matt Stafford is a different team.
Rams are going to be healthier this year. Aaron Donald's going to be healthier this year.
Cooper Kupp should be.
Yeah. Now Arizona, I get it. They trash.
Yeah, Arizona ain't doing nothing.
Oh no, I just think from top to bottom, I just think the North is a lot more stacked compared to that's the only reason why I have the 49ers slightly ahead of Cincinnati.
Yeah, I get it.
That would probably be my speculation for that. And then so that's 3, 4, 5. Man, I'm gonna tell you what, it's gonna be a battle between one of these AFC East teams. I'm going to go with Miami over Buffalo in this one, and it's by a narrow margin, because Miami could have swept that team last year. They could have, and in the playoffs, they had 2 in there. And granted, that was a fumbling mistake more so by coaching with them. Like the number of times they kept getting delay of games, and I think had the 2 would have been in there, they would have beat Buffalo. So I'm gonna put Miami in the 5 spot.
All right. I like that. Number 1 is definitely going to be the Chiefs. We don't even have to explain it. Number 2, I agree with y'all. I think I'm going to put Philly there. I like what they did in the draft, bringing in some veterans back and then bringing in some new pieces. Number 3, this is where I think I'm going to put the Bengals at, ahead of the 49ers, just because I know what the quarterback situation is in Cincinnati. They got Joe Burrow. They still got T. Higgins. They still got Jamar Chase. They still got Tyler Boyd. Joe Mixon is coming back. They're not cutting him. So they still got the squad basically all there. So I'm going to put them at number 3. At number 4, I'll put the 49ers for every reason that Mark said. And then at number 5, it was tricky because he said I was pretty much in the same boat. The Bills, the Dolphins, even the Jets and the Ravens and Jaguars was the teams I was thinking about putting there. And I'm actually going to go with Jacksonville because I think they're taking a step forward this year. Trevor Lawrence should now adding Calvin Ridley into the offense should take a step forward. Another year in Doug Peterson's system. That defense should get better. They were really young defense last year. They should get better. So I'm going to put the Jaguars at number 5.
All right.
I like that.
Number 2, I'm gonna give it to Cincy. I'm gonna give it to them. I mean, what they do, Jamar, that offense. The question mark.
It's good, Joe.
I mean, the question mark for both Cincy and Philly is that they lost key pieces in their secondaries. You know what I'm saying? Gardner Johnson left Philly, and that's a blow. And since he lost both of their safeties, Bell and Bates, so that entire secondary is young, like first and second year guys back there. So those are the question marks for both of those teams. But I would have to give that edge to the Bengals, just because of that division alone. To survive that division and to make a run is impressive, regardless of how I feel about their fans. So Philly would be 3. The question mark in San Francisco is the question mark. Brock Purdy or Trey Lance. They even say Sam Darnold look good, but I'm not buying that because once the bullets get flying for real, you know what I'm saying? You'll see Sam Darnold's true colors. But they were hyping him up all throughout OTAs and mini camps, saying Sam looked great and yada, yada, yada. But This ain't USC. This is the NFL. So, um, five is tough. Because there's so many teams that are like right there. You know, the momentum from a Detroit, the optimism from a Chicago team. You know, the Dallas Cowboys. Um, I mean, it's just Buffalo. You know, is Buffalo going to bounce back and be what they should be? You know, will that offense take another step forward and get more dedicated to, instead of exposing Josh Allen, leaning more on their running backs because they got a thumper now that came over from the Patriots. You know, the Dolphins, they got to make a decision on Dalvin Cook too. Like, they need to pull the trigger and get him because he's the difference maker on whether the Dolphins is successful. You know, they get Dalvin, that changes everything. But if they don't, and I think Raheem Mostert didn't re-sign, if my memory serves me right, last time I looked at their roster, he wasn't on it. So if they don't address that situation, Miami gonna be Miami. Because you can't put Tua in that situation. I don't give a damn he got Reek and Waddle. Like, you gonna have to get him a Raheem, a Dalvin. You got to do something at that position.
Yeah.
You got to address it. You want to compete.
Especially those late games, late in the year up in Buffalo and New York. You're going to need a bruiser like Dalvin Cook.
Yeah. When you look at that East, there was a game last year. The Patriots played the Jets, and I think that score was like 3-3 for like the entire game up until like the last 2 minutes of that game. Like, that's how they play football up there. You find yourself in a hole like that because Bill has schemed your offense up and it's just grinded it out. Like, this is what you're getting in the East. You're not going to get 30-point games every week.
No.
Just not going to happen up there. So, I don't know. There's a lot of good teams at that 5, you know. So go ahead, Chris.
So I got the Eagles number 2. I'm going to always take pass rush. I think their pass rush actually got better. You can add a Jalen Carter, Nolan Smith, who's pretty much a Hassan Reddick duplicate on the edge with Josh Sweat. Their pass rush is still going to be good. They still got Darius Slay. They brought back what's the other corner? Bradbury.
We got Bradbury.
They brought back Bradbury. They got now Keely Ringo. He could kind of be the hybrid safety corner type deal where he could kind of replace what Charlie Garner did out there. So they'll be fine, and I think they'll be fine. So their pass rush will be good, and their offense is going to be their offense. And they got Swift to replace Miles Sanders, which I think Swift is probably the better running back. He just can't stay healthy.
If he can stay healthy,
That's what I say. If it's health that's been his question. If he can stay healthy, then the running game will probably be better than what it is. Which is crazy because Miles Sanders had like 1,400 yards last year. So. So, but I got the Eagles. 3, I got the Bengals. Actually, they got better on the defensive line with drafting that kid. Was it Miles Leonard? I think his name is. I think he's going to add to pass rush with Sam Hubbard. And their receiving core is still the receiving core. The offense is still going to be the offense. 4, I'm going to go with the Ravens. I think Lamar Jackson is motivated. He said he got his money. He's got a receiving core. Like, you got OBJ now. You got Zay Flowers.
You got Bateman.
You got Bateman out there. You got
Dobbins in the backfield.
You got Mark Andrews. You got a full
Gus Edwards.
And the defense is set.
You got Roquan Smith out there.
Patrick Queen. Yes.
Marlon Humphreys is still there. So I think they still, and when they're healthy, they win that division. You know what I'm saying? It's just a question of health. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, we're going to see what this offensive coordinator do. Will he expose Lamar Jackson to some of those hits, or will he protect him a little bit more? So that's yet to be seen. But I got them at number 4. Then number 5, I'm going to go with the 49ers because they're always good no matter who the quarterback is. Kyle Shanahan is just one of the best coaches in the league. His scheme is just ironclad. I don't care. You can put any one of us back there, and you're gonna get 12 wins at least. Because their running game scheme is just so good. Their defense is just lights out. Their pass rush is crazy. So that's my top 5.
I just think the only question marks we're probably going to have, speaking of as far as like in regards to the Eagles and the 49ers, is more so in even with the nobody had the Bills. I don't think in their top 5, but when you have defensive coordinator change or any kind of coordinator change, things tend to get a little bit sticky anyway. So I think that's going to be the interesting piece of it. How will the 49ers respond? We know with D'Amico Ryan's gone. How will the Eagles respond? With obviously losing both coordinators. I mean, sometimes it's not really the same team, but it's a matter of more so do you trust Sirianni and Philly to make sure that they have all their coordinators on one accord and making that work. So it's a small question mark for me, but I think they'll get it done.
Yeah, the scheme in San Francisco is not going to change. No. There won't be any differences. It's the personnel that they replace, and that's going to be the adjustment. Losing to Jay Ward, who was playing slot, would drop back to that strong, would come back up and play that slot, and now him not being there is probably the biggest thing that they're going to have to replace. It's just what he brought them, the versatility he gave them. So that's going to be the biggest question mark.
He did a little bit of everything for him, like you're saying. Like he played in the box, he would play deep. Yeah.
When they went to their nickel package, it was him in the slot.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's going to be the biggest adjustment for them is losing him.
And then kind of spinning off of everything, I know we're doing a top 5 power rankings. I'm not even sure it's on the thing though, but I did see something. Not interesting. It was more so just common sense to me. Is that they have Andy Reid ranked as the #1 head coach right now in football.
Yeah.
Who do you have? I'm just going to do top 3. Who would you have right behind him in the 2 and 3 slot as far as like right now coaching?
That's a good question. I'm gonna let y'all have that.
There's got to be Kyle and
Kyle would probably be number 2.
I mean
Tomlin. I had to put Tomlin.
Oh yeah, definitely Tomlin. Definitely Mike Tomlin.
I just knew by the end of the season, Tomlin is not going to give up that whole below 500 thing. I said, ain't no way it happened. I said, watch this team go on a streak. I said, watch. And before I knew it, there they go. This old sneaky Mike Tomlin. That's just what they do. Man. That's just what Pittsburgh do. They know how to get their coaches.
Great coach, man.
Say what you want to say.
It's a simple formula in Pittsburgh. It actually is what he wanted. He just there was no way you could play that way with Ben there. You know what I mean? Because Ben was such a damn good passer. You know what I'm saying? But this is what Mike Tomlin wanted to do. He loves to play defense. He loves to run the football. You know what I'm saying? You're not asking your quarterback to win you ball games. This is what they wanted. This is what he wanted. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. I see Stan slide in there. I saw Stan slide up there and put up Dable up there.
He needs some more time, but he's good. Yeah. He's good. Don't get it twisted. He's good, but he's top 5.
He's in that window where I'm like, it just depends on what happens this year. I mean, and granted, if he works out a miracle, and I'm not saying it's not possible, if they somehow steal the division, then maybe we can have that conversation.
Yeah. Even if they make the playoffs again this year, you still got to talk about him being a very good coach. You know what I'm saying? To turn that franchise back around to what they used to be, at least making the playoffs.
Darren Waller got the potential to be a star in New York. You know what I'm saying? Sterling Shepard's coming back.
Yeah, if Waller has his best season, Daniel Jones has built on what he did last year. You can put Dayball up there. You can definitely put Dayball up there.
It might be top 5, and then of course you want to respect the legacies of obviously with Peyton, with Sean Payton. That's going to be interesting. And then
I like Dougie P. Dougie P's a good coach.
Yeah. So it's going to be very interesting going in this year.
Mm-hmm.
And then Belichick, he just got a mess, unfortunately.
What's your thoughts on the Bengals coach? Zach Robinson, right?
Zach Taylor.
Taylor.
Look at you tearing that one name up, man. Robinson. Come on, Chris.
Nobody never talks about him.
Come on,
Nobody.
Chris.
They talk about Burrows. They talk about Jamar Chase.
Come on, Chris.
Let me tell you about Zach Taylor, though. Zach
is one of them old quarterbacks from back in the day that didn't make it.
I mean, say what you want to about Zach Taylor, stuff like that, but I will say that he has been one of the best in making adjustments over the last year. I would definitely say that. I mean, regardless, if they're down, everything, he'll find a way to will their team to win. So as far as they're making adjustments and stuff,
even the defensive coordinator gets more credit than him. Lou Ferrigno, I don't know.
Even the defensive coordinator gets, they talk about him every week.
Lou Ferrigno. That's the Hulk.
Whatever his name is.
Lou Inaruna.
Same thing.
That's what he do. He go in the room. He go in the locker room and turn to the Hulk, and that's the secret sauce.
Yeah. Turns green.
You're gonna win.
Lou Ferrigno.
Chris be messing everybody's name up.
He be tearing them up. He butcher them, boy.
Yeah, he does.
Butcher them.
I want to hear him say Victor Wembanyama. I bet
Wembanyama.
Victor
Wembanyama.
Give it up.
Wembanyama. I know how to say that.
We just call him Wemby. Wow. Just call him Wemby for short. We cool.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I mean,
he's still butchering Giannis's name.
What the biggest thing about Cincy is the fact that just not their last game, but their second to last game, they was able to go to Buffalo and just bully ball them. You know what I mean?
Yep.
In Buffalo, like dominate both sides of the ball on the line of scrimmage. The defensive line was dominating. The offensive line was just mauling them. Like, you got to tip your hat to that for them to be able to switch it off, turn it off from wanting to bomb it out and get the ball to Jamar and T. Higgins and to being able to lean on that running game a little bit more. So I tip my hat to them for that recipe. They came in with a great recipe. But
Joe Mixon was cutting up.
I honestly feel like when they come to Kansas City now, the tone and the line in the sand has already been set. Like, they will not get to come back to Arrowhead and get another dub. Like, it won't be a regular season, it won't be a postseason. Like, their days of coming to Kansas City and getting a dub is over. They will not be looked past. They will not be an afterthought. Like, every time they come to Kansas City, the Chiefs are going to put their foot on their neck.
Yeah.
It'll never happen again. It'll never happen again.
Good segue.
They got that one, but it'll never happen again.
Good segue. Bengals fans trying to be relevant again. They always are in our comment section.
In June and July.
Zim was always saying something.
Always.
Then his little his coat follows him wherever he goes.
Yeah.
But why do they always be like little bots or whatever?
Right. And why do they have to be relevant right now?
I think he got like different accounts.
Like he got accounts or something, like he program them or something, and then like he say something, his Ty say something, and then they go on attack mode or something. Like he got AI.
They out of nowhere.
Tell me the crazy
they just spawn
stuff
out of
ever.
Yeah,
like, no.
They spawn out of nowhere.
No, because what he's saying is you be like,
yeah,
where you come from?
Yeah, just spawn out of nowhere.
Like, you're not even a part of the conversation. I was talking.
People
to
ain't
Zim.
been active for weeks, and they see somebody trying to check Zim, and here they come. Like, newsflash to all of them if they're watching, I mute y'all and block y'all. I don't engage in y'all. I don't have time for y'all. You know what I'm saying? Y'all could try crackers in your chili instead of noodles. I'm just saying. Maybe sprinkle some cheese, some onion or something.
Some Fritos or something.
Chili coat. That's what
you know what I'm saying? Why they got to be relevant in June?
There's not even
why in June?
There's just not even a reason to even talk. You lost. That's the bottom line.
The game is not even until New Year's Eve. So why does this have to be a topic of conversation right now?
And even the conversation gets so far away from the game of football. Well, at least with the interactions I've had,
Yes, always,
But
always,
you know what? I'm gonna keep
always,
going.
It's a little
I'm
bit of
gonna
Chiefs
keep.
fans do that to you too, Tom.
always. Yeah, they do.
There's no.
They be
There
wanting to
is.
kick Ty's
But,
ass.
Pull up
but
on you.
but even so, why in the world are we even talking about even that far anywhere as far with the New Year's Eve game? We've been keep saying the same. At least I've been saying the
Yep.
same old thing. I need you to be worried about that division first, because we don't even know if that New Year's Eve game will matter the way some things are kind of happen.
You
We
can't
don't
tell
even
That's
them.
know.
that's not how they
You can't tell
operate.
them that.
You
That's
Yeah.
cannot
not,
tell
that's
them.
not what they
But
do.
but that's the beauty about me. I don't care about how you operate. I'm just telling you the realities of it, though. You got to
Yeah,
get through your
They don't
division
That's
care.
first.
They don't care about your realities.
They're like,
They
how
gonna
dare
spin
you
it.
talk
They
to us
number
like
one
that?
and
they
the
gonna
Chiefs
live
are
in their
number two.
alternate
I
reality.
don't care.
We are
They're
3
living
and
in the
1
Spider
against
Verse.
Patrick
I'm
Mahomes.
convinced.
Yeah, 3-1. Yeah,
And that means what?
in June. In June.
And that
Means
means
nothing.
what?
In June. Training camp
I'm
hasn't even
still trying to
started.
figure that out
First
too.
preseason game's not completed yet. Week 1 of the regular season hasn't started yet. Like there's all of this
They
that,
haven't
that
even
has to
put
go
pads
on
on yet.
before. You know what I'm saying? So why is 3-1 a topic of conversation? When
3-1.
and I tell them this, and I've told them this every time that I've spoken with him. You're as only as good as your last game. Every team in the league is only
Yep.
as good as their last game. And last time I
And they
checked,
said that
they
too.
took an L. They took an L. You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
Sing it.
it's no
R.I.P.
different.
Nip.
It's
R.I.P.
no.
Nip. You see it, Chris. Last time that I checked.
That's
For
just that's
real, for real.
y'all.
They only as good as their last game. And they
Y'all-
lost.
But here's my problem with them is they have this like snootish attitude. Like it's like the first two
dog.
games weren't like we wasn't smoking them, and then we just dropped the ball.
Right.
Yep.
That's how those games went. The first two games we was smoking y'all, and then we dropped the ball. Yeah, y'all won.
Yeah.
Okay, y'all took care of business when you needed to. But at the end of the day, the game wasn't even supposed to be close.
Yeah.
We lost. Not you won.
Yep.
We lost.
We broke all that down last week.
That's the breakdown for every time the Chiefs lose.
Games.
Every time the Chiefs
Even the
lose,
regular season
it's
game
not them
last
getting
year.
beat. Every time.
Yep, the regular season game when Travis fumbled.
He fumbled. He doesn't fumble. We score on that drive. The game is over.
We win the game.
We're not even talking about this.
It'd be 2-2.
And that's why I say, Bengal fans, I said it last week. What y'all gonna do when we beat y'all New Year's Eve, and now it's 3-2, and if we see y'all in the playoffs, now it's 3-3.
If it even matters.
What y'all gonna hang your hat on? Now y'all gonna be irrelevant.
Hold on.
And then they wanted to get mad
too.
when I said Lamar 6-2 against them. They wanted to get mad about that and try to come up with all these different excuses for why that is.
Well, and to think about it, they've had the opportunity to go play in a Super Bowl in Joe Burrow's era. Joe Burrow has played in the Super Bowl, and he's lost. So they've had opportunities. They've had the opportunities. You know what I mean? They're not being shortchanged at all. Nobody is saying that they are. I'm not saying that they are the number one team in the AFC, but they can't say that. Oh, it's 3-1. Well, y'all went to the Super Bowl, bro. Y'all lost in y'all Super Bowl, and you're only as good as your last game, and you lost that one. So for you to try to spin this to try to make it a rivalry in the middle of June, like it makes no sense. It's pointless.
Even 49er fans aren't even that arrogant, because realistically they could have said, "Oh, we're better than
because the 49ers got 5 Super Bowls."
They know how to act.
They could have said we were better than the Philadelphia Eagles, blah blah blah, without a quarterback.
They got 5 Lombardi trophies.
You act different when you got no Super Bowls.
You know what I'm saying?
We were there for 50 years.
Especially when your franchise has lost to the Niners twice and to the Rams once. Like they've always lost to the NFC West every time they went to the Super Bowl. Always. They just
it's just not even worth my time even talking about this. So what's going to happen if the game is irrelevant? You know, we get to New Year's Eve and everything, and they win. Oh, we 4-1. Yeah, because half the team is probably on the bench.
I think the way that the schedules makers played this out the way that they did was because they projected
Of course,
Chiefs, Bengals, Bills,
of course.
maybe one other team, Miami or somebody, and everybody's competing for that number one spot in the AFC. You know what I mean? So it'll matter. You know, what's that? The second to the last game of the year?
They just giving us the script, man. You know the script.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The script
just gotta
writers
read
for
it.
the NFL.
Yeah.
Bengals and Chiefs
Sure.
fighting for number one.
Sure.
We're winning the Super Bowl
Script
again.
my ass.
Roger
Script
Goodell,
my
he ended up the script and said, "Hey, this is
Right,
gonna be
right.
real."
Right.
And the thing about that Bengals game last year, if Patrick Mahomes didn't have that high ankle sprain, I really believe we would have smoked them because the defense was holding them. Our offense was struggling at points to get anything going. But if his ankle was fine, I
Even
really
with the
feel like we would
ankle.
have smoked them.
Well,
Even with the ankle.
Well,
Remember, there was
that
that part when he fumbled the football.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If he didn't fumble, we was right there at the red zone. We scored there. It's about to be a blowout.
I thought we beat ourselves again, man, when that happened. Oh, man. Bad
Every
memories.
time they lose, it's because the Chiefs beat themselves.
They turn
It's
it
never
over.
a team beating the Chiefs. They beat themselves. You can go all the way back to when Cincy came into Arrowhead and won and went to the Super Bowl. What happened? The Chiefs fell apart. It wasn't anything that
respect
Cincy
for
did.
the Jets.
I'm
They
high.
had
I'm high
seen
on
it.
the Jets, Joe. I'm high on the Jets.
Yeah. I was just breaking down their wide receivers yesterday and who's in and who's out. So I really think their formula in New York makes a lot of sense for where Aaron Rodgers is right now.
They're talking about the Jets going out and getting Dalvin Cook possibly too.
They don't need Dalvin.
They don't.
Brees
got
Hall's coming
Brees.
off that
They got
ACL tear, though.
But they still got Michael Carter there, who does the same things that
That's
Brees
true.
does.
Then they
Does
got
the same
Zonovan
things that
Knight.
Dalvin does. Yeah.
Yeah, it's young and they go.
It is.
Yeah, their defense is good.
Sauce is going to be a
Sauce
problem.
Gardner.
They got
That
3 good
defensive line.
corners.
And DJ Reed.
Yeah.
Yeah, DJ Reed is good too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm just telling you, year one is always successful. It's year two where you got to look at it and be like, okay, Aaron Rodgers is going to fall back. Year one is always successful to the quarterback because they coming to prove. Aaron Rodgers wants to prove Tyrone. He's sick of you, Ty.
We'll see.
You gotta prove.
We'll see. Yeah, I think he's already taken
Y'all
that
act like
step
he
back.
fell-
and talking about
Y'all act like
Chris.
he
I
fell
think-
off a
I think
cliff.
he's already taken.
That's what I say. Like,
Y'all act like he fell off a cliff, man.
I mean, did you watch
No,
the
he
first half
didn't.
of the season last year?
He
Look,
did
he
he
don't
fall
want
off
to
a
be there
cliff?
no more, man.
Yeah.
Look,
He
no,
don't
I'm
want to
looking.
be there.
He's supposed
no
to get
more.
excited when you don't have Devontae no more.
No, I'm looking.
The
I'm
best
looking-
wide receiver in the league. You supposed to be excited about the
Mahomes
future.
showed up.
That's
No,
I mean,
Look
look
what
at the
happened.
years. What's the difference in the years? That's in year 6. Aaron
Forget
is
about
in
it.
like year 14,
And
15.
let's be
He's been there,
real.
done that.
And let's be
That's
fair.
that.
He still has traps. That's his
You know
number
what I'm
one
saying?
guy.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean,
Been there,
I'm-
done
that's-
that.
If down there traded Travis, we might see a different Patrick Mahomes.
yeah.
No, I'm cool.
he
I'm
might
cool
not
with that.
show
I'm
up
cool.
though, TAs. He might.
No, but I'm saying like as far as they don't want to defend the Aaron Rodgers, as far as like the historical and everything, I get that. But here's my issue though: which divisional defenses do you want to face? And I'm looking at it for like the AFC East, their division as far as with their defenses, I would say they have a slighter edge compared to what's going on in the North in the NFC.
So he should have
North.
wanted to stay in the North
NFC.
then, right?
That's what I'm saying.
Why go to the East where them defenses are a lot better than in the North?
Well, Aaron Rodgers went over there, so
he
that's
wants
gonna be
to
best.
show y'all. Because he wants to
Yeah.
show y'all. I'm
Yeah.
walking these shark waters, baby.
Yeah,
Because,
but also-
because
And
it
also-
wouldn't be the talk of the offseason for half
He
the
would've been
time.
better
He was
off
worried
going to the
about where's
West.
Aaron going. That's why
It's-
He would have been
wouldn't be
better
the
off
talk of
going to the
offseason. He
Raiders.
did it.
That I agree.
He was the
But
He would have
offseason
been better off
headline.
going to the Raiders.
But you're talking about
He's been better off going to the 49ers. I
He'd been
Thank
better
want to talk
Thank
about
low
you.
key.
it.
Tired.
Low key, actually would have.
He
That would
stayed in
actually
that
been a
hut
better
forever.
fit. he didn't even commit to the darkness, whatever, all that. We'll see how long he commit with this team, making it work. But I will say though,
exactly.
he's going to
5 days.
he's going to a stronger division where I think the quarterbacks are better. He's going to a division where I think the defenses are better. I'm just not convinced. I'm seeing him at large third. I mean, I respect the Jets defense, and granted, it's going to be very interesting. But
I don't think nobody is a clear cut in that division.
I don't either. That's what I'm saying.
Don't.
I think Buffalo takes a step back.
Yeah.
I think Miami, they gonna be with Miami is all about Tua. At the end of the day,
Yep.
I don't know.
All they want, they got all them pieces on defense, and that is fine. That's great. I actually like the Devin Arcane kid that they drafted in the second or third round. I think he's gonna be pretty good. He's gonna be a speed guy. So if they use him and run the football, yeah. But at the end of the day, if Tua can't stay healthy, what Aaron Rodgers got to worry about?
And if they don't get Dalvin Cook in Miami's
Miami's
Miami's gonna take a huge step back if they don't get Dalvin. They need Dalvin in Miami.
I don't know about that because even so, in Miami, one of the issues I had was their defense, and I think, say what you want as a head coach as far as how he performed.
Last year, what made their offense go in Miami? And what came off of it? And what came off of it? You saw jet motion.
That running game.
Raheem Mostert got money against Buffalo. He had like 7 carries for over 100 yards in the first quarter, first half. Like, you got to have that running game in Miami.
And that game pissed me off because the coach stopped running the football and he wanted to throw the football on 3rd and 2 and 3rd and 1. Every time 3rd and 2, 3rd and 1 came along, I'm like, dude,
throw the ball.
Mostert is killing these boys right now on the ground. Nope, he want to drop back and pass it. Like, come on, man.
And they lost Mike Gesicki. So they got to get Dalvin.
Yeah, he went to New England.
They got to get Dalvin.
But Gesicki, to me, is like just a receiver. Like, he's a slot receiver.
You need somebody to work the seams.
He can't block.
Exactly. You needed him to work the seams. I'm not talking about from a blocking standpoint. I'm just talking about the lack of another weapon out there outside of Reek and Waddle.
And they lost another receiver that was good. The third receiver.
Sherfield.
Yeah, they lost him.
Yeah. Where did he go?
I had to pull it back up.
Clarence said something about the Chiefs getting them, and I was kind of on board with it. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I wanted
Sherfield can ball. Yeah.
No, he was good.
I look.
He took that slant 80 yards to the house against the.
When you break down,
I never said he fell off a cliff, but
the wide receiver room alone: Alan Lazard, Corey Davis, Cobb, Cole.
Yeah,
Denzel Mims.
He's trying to bring out aged dinosaurs over to another team. You don't do that. I mean, it's like LeBron James 2.0.
This is what
Let's bring my team over there. I'm like, is it Aaron Rodgers' team or is it the Jets team? I'm like,
this is what I don't.
You still got Garrett Wilson.
You complain about
that's cute. That's cute. But I hope that same old Aaron Rodgers syndrome where he gives up on play. I hope it don't happen. Granted, you can say, you can defend about his focus.
Why would he do all of this for a team that let Devontae walk? Like, help me understand. Like, what was he there to prove?
You can
what did he need to do
as much as you want to. As much as you want to justify and try to help him out. You can ask the very same question the other way around too.
I don't understand why y'all expecting him to throw for over 4,000 or 5,000 yards.
When did I say I expected him to
42?
do that?
I mean, hell, you said he fell off a cliff last year.
I never said that. I said he didn't fall off a cliff last year, but he definitely took a step back.
Hey,
I'll say
can we talk about back how?
Can we talk about
stats? 26 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, the most interceptions, and how long of his.
And how many young wide receivers did he have last year?
Can we talk about how Christian
how many did
in the beginning of the season, he was dropping passes.
Really?
He was not playing as good.
Who was Pat's wide receivers? Juju, who had been in the league for a minute.
He was new.
NBA. Hold on. No, don't.
They're all new.
Don't try to move the goalpost. No, don't try to. No, I'm not trying to hear to the system. We talking about in the league. Romeo Dobbs. What year was that last year? Christian Watson. What year was that last year? Juju. How long he been in the league last year? MVS, how long was he in the league last year? Cole, how long he had been in the league last year?
4 years.
Like, stop.
But
Stop.
even so, Clarence, as much as you
Stop.
want to we're not going to stop because as much as you want to justify and
Y'all
help
some
out,
bullshit.
how
Y'all
many years?
moving the damn goalposts.
No, because
Y'all moving the
I'm not-
goalposts. Y'all moving the goalposts on Aaron. Like,
No,
stop, man.
No, I ain't
No,
moving
I'm
the
just saying
goalposts.
statistically,
It is what it
he
is.
took a step
It is-
back
Y'all want
from
to bet
last
on
year.
this, man? What y'all want to bet? Huh?
It is what it is. He
Put
is
your
who
money
he
where
is.
your
You better
mouth
throw me
is,
one of those
fellas.
bills.
Put
let
your
me
money
get-
where
let me
your
get some
mouth
of that
is,
money.
fellas. What y'all want
He is who he is. That's
Damn,
that's
Floyd
going.
Mayweather. Yeah,
I
money
think my
made.
check's late in the mail.
Oh,
My check's
no.
late, Clarence. My
He's
check's
old.
late. Where's it at?
He said them was all ones.
It's all one.
He said,
Right.
man, what you doing this afternoon, Chris?
Know what he doing this afternoon? He got all them ones in his pocket.
About to go to girls' collection with Floyd.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You going to the library?
Real good.
Happy 4th to me. Bang, bang, bang.
About to have some, make some fireworks in there.
Say,
No,
y'all
so
got
if you
some
look-
baby oil back there.
Back on the Aaron Rodgers stuff. So Aaron Rodgers last year statistically took a step back, and this is not for debate. This is proven. Just look at the stats. He threw 12 interceptions, the most interceptions he's had, I think, in his career, or close to it. 26 touchdowns. He was inefficient.
You too wrong this year.
He was more inefficient this year than he's been ever.
Okay, so even though Juju and MVS was new to the offense, they're veterans, right?
But this
They
system's the
they
hardest
both.
system to learn, isn't it?
Let me
We
finish.
say
Let me
that all the
finish.
time.
Why every time I say something I get interrupted? I'll let you talk.
All right, go ahead.
So Juju and MVS come in the league or come to the Chiefs, but they had already been in the league for a minute. MVS played with Aaron.
Mm-hmm.
Juju had played with Ben. So they know how to be a pro at that position, right? So you get a Romeo Dobbs and a Christian Watson. If my memory serves me correctly, Christian Watson didn't get hot until the second half of the season.
Mm-hmm.
So your
Because
expectation
Aaron
of
wasn't at OTAs.
being able, your
Exactly.
expectation of being able to lean on Randall
Exactly.
Cobb and Aaron Lazard,
Bro, he was
you
dropping
crazy because
passes.
Alan Lazard and
What they
Randall
got to do
Cobb
with
is not a
OTAs?
Juju and an NBA. Thank you.
Dropping
Thank you.
passes. What they got to do with OTAs?
What's it got to do with OTAs?
He can't catch
if-
him, so you expect him to
If
catch
it's
the ball
on
too, right?
point,
He's
he's
supposed to
wide
catch the ball
open.
too. Come on.
It
Look.
hit his hands.
He-
and he
he's
dropped.
supposed
It's
to
a
throw it
totally
and catch
different
it.
style from.
He's supposed to throw it and
It's
catch
a
it.
totally different
Come
style. Okay, so from catching
I don't-
from Jordan
I don't
Love
know.
all summer, you're catching from Jordan Love all summer, and then week
Now it's the
one,
quarterback's
the
fault
first
that he
throw
dropped
you've
the
ever
pass.
caught from Aaron Rodgers is in an NFL game, a live NFL game, because he was too selfish to be at OTAs. So now
What is
the first
OTAs have to
pass
do?
you ever catch from
Whoa.
Aaron is going to be in an NFL game, a live game. How
I
is that
think you-
supposed to
listen,
help? How is that
I-
supposed to help a young receiver get
think-
ready?
I
to
think
be
we as
to
fans
lead.
have been fed entirely too much information because now we can point to an OTA and this and that as to why a wide receiver and a quarterback have been ineffective. If you're a pro, you're a pro. You know what I'm saying? Let's get paid to do. Now, Aaron has been in this league a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Aaron has won regular season MVPs. Can't
Got
say
a lot
that
of
for the
those.
playoff. Can't say that for the playoff picture.
Exactly.
Give you that. But last time I checked, there's 10 other guys on that offense.
Yeah.
And there's 11 guys on that defense.
Mm-hmm.
And there's 11 guys on that special teams. So
Mhm.
it's not all just on Aaron.
No, it's not. I agree.
So
It's not all on Aaron.
So the playoff record, I know they give it to quarterbacks. I give you that. But to say it was his fault last year in the first half of the season when it took a Christian Watson to get hot before the Packers looked similar to what the Packers used to look like. You notice his numbers started to look a lot better once Christian Watson became more consistent and got comfortable in that system.
And that's
When
where
you
I go
got a
back to
Romeo
the
Dobbs
OTAs.
who can't, that don't have nothing to do with it. Has
How are
nothing
you
to do
supposed to
with
get
it.
comfortable playing with the quarterback if you didn't play with them? If you did play with them, how are you like? That's like I'm gonna just go out and catch a pass from Mark, Never caught a pass from Mark before,
If
but we're
that's the
going to go
case,
do it in a game.
if that's the
game
case, then
setting.
every wide receiver that comes through Arrowhead should be a starter in this league because they all get to work with Pat. They all get to work with Pat. So they should all be on active roster somewhere. Marcus Kemp, shouldn't let that ball get to his chest and bounce off against the Chargers? Because he got to work with Pat. Yeah, he didn't make that play. You see what I mean?
Well, that's
Like,
because he threw the no look.
OTAs is,
He
oh,
wasn't used to the no look, though.
come on,
You
bro.
ain't seeing that.
People drop passes every day.
Chad Henne ain't throwing the no look at practice.
Okay, Todd. All right,
No, I'm
all
just
right.
saying, is it?
OTAs is a thing. So by your standard, I should be chanting Sam Darnold is going to be week 1 starter then because OTA said Sam Darnold was killing in San Francisco.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying if you want to set your young,
he was
I'm just saying if you
balling
got
OTAs.
young receivers and you got new receivers in your system, you should be at
Considering-
OTAs to help
considering
them
the fact that-
OTAs.
Considering the fact that considering the fact that Darnold only does well in week 1 games, and all of a sudden the rest of the season
He bought out in OTAs in San Francisco though.
he only does
Yeah,
well in
great
week 1.
He had a great OTA season.
Darnold is good in week 1, and that's it.
OTA season. Week 1, OTA season.
First week of training camp, interception.
You know what I'm saying? Broke his thumb or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Hurt.
But I will say though, as far as with
First week
Aaron
of
Rodgers,
pads.
even with Aaron Rodgers last year, though, it's like I had a feeling it was just not going to go well at all. I mean,
You could tell by the way he was talking.
I hated the
Well,
contract.
why did he sign that deal then?
To me, it was more
Maybe he
so
thought
desperation
Devontae was
for
gonna stay.
the Green Bay side on one side. But why would he sign that deal? I don't know. I thought he should have been out last year. That's just what I thought. And it just bled all the way over, and that just pretty much
That's what confused me because Aaron signed before Devontae signed.
Yeah.
And that surprised me because I thought he was going to wait to see if Devontae was going to get his deal done first. And maybe he thought, okay, so if I sign first, Devontae will sign. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he was under that impression that Devontae would stay. But Tay saw them numbers in Vegas and was like, I'm going to go play with Carr. You know what I'm saying? Go back closer to the crib. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe that's what he thought. Maybe that's what happened. I don't know. It was just odd for him to sign first and Devontae dip. But Green Bay was doing Devontae dirty in the first place. They had a history of doing him wrong. Like,
they have a history of doing players wrong, just the way the organization is, which is where I will cut Aaron Rodgers some slack because I think that's what he got tired of at the end of the day. That's why he wasn't going and showing up at training camp day 1. That's why he wasn't going to all these camps because of because of the way they were treating the players, which I will agree. I mean, those players up there, this has been a long history of this. We see this all the time.
They have penny pinchers over there in Green Bay.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, they're owned by the fans, so
I would say the only question mark that I have, and people, people can say whatever they want to, we can talk about recent history. That's just more so where I'm looking at with Aaron Rodgers right now. Is when they played Tampa Bay. The only thing I hated more about that game was that the coach took the ball out of his hands. And you can say whatever you want. I absolutely hate. I'm like, you're gonna take the ball out the hands going against Tom Brady, which is I don't know. I still don't understand to this day what he was thinking. So that one is, I don't want to say I'm 100% put that on. I'll say more so 75% it goes with the coach. That's my opinion.
But the other part of that game that I think a lot of people forget about before that drive was when they were in the red zone, and he had a wide open lane right in front of him, 2-yard walk in.
Yeah, he did. I remember that.
He didn't take it. He didn't take it. So I mean, I will put a lot of that on the coaching staff too, though. You gotta put the ball in your best player's hands and just hope whatever happens.
Well,
and I mean, go ahead, Chris.
I'm saying, do I have my gripes with Aaron Rodgers in the playoffs? I do, because I thought a lot of times he would center in on Devontae Adams. MVS would be wide open. Lazard would be wide open in the end zone. And what's the name? Triple team, and he would just
force it.
He would force it
force the issue
because MVS just dropped the pass. Because
Mm-hmm.
MVS just dropped the pass a couple
Yep.
series ago. So now he don't trust
Yep.
him no more.
Yep.
You see
Yep.
what Patrick
Yep.
like, Bubba, drop this pass.
Yep.
Going right back to you, man.
Yep.
Yep.
Hardman's a prime example of that too.
But even MVS or somebody else, anybody who drops a pass, he gonna give you another chance to redeem yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So it's just, Aaron, I do have my gripes with him, but I just think,
Yeah.
like I said, I just say this season with the Jets, he's gonna be re-energized. He's gonna want to prove everybody wrong because a lot of people are doubting him. A lot of people are doubting the Jets. Oh, they ain't gonna do nothing. The Jets were a quarterback away from making the playoffs last year.
Yeah,
All he
I
gotta
wouldn't
do
say
is
the
be
Jets wouldn't
competent.
do nothing because if they would have
And
picked up Tyler Huntley, they could have done something. I mean, anything was an upgrade over Zach.
and
Exactly.
And the fact that because this is a thing, he's been at minicamp.
Yeah.
He was in New
bought
York for
in.
minicamp. He was helping the defense the entire minicamp process. So, Ty, I know you big on off-season workouts. He was there. He was there. You can go
But
and watch that little documentary on YouTube. He's been in the building since the off-season program started in New York.
And you see how the young players around that team are so much more confident with Aaron in the building at OTAs. You just see, I mean, you can see it. Watch the documentary, you can see it.
And here's my other part about
how many episodes have you watched, Ty?
None.
Sorry, shut up. Shut up.
Here's my other part to it though, because you just can't because realistically we can't put everything on Aaron Rodgers. Granted, he's got Nathaniel Hackett over there and how he's going to respond, especially coming off that whatever you want to call it. That was a flat out disaster. When it comes, it's like if they get to the playoffs and everything, that's going to be very interesting. Will they have those moments kind of like what we saw with Miami and have those debackles? Granted, you can say he had a backup and all this stuff. Will we see those issues come up? But like I said, we only in July. We'll see what happens. Injuries, all that stuff, that's going to matter.
If Brees Hall can come back and be the Brees Hall that they expected, a lot of that's going to be predicated on that. But Aaron got a lot of weapons in New York. You know what I mean? It's not like he's lacking for weapons. The tight end situation is better. And I liked homeboy that he had in Green Bay, but the tight end is better. He's the tight end that played in Cincy 2 years ago. You got a young Garrett Wilson who's trying to prove that he belongs in this league. You got a dependable Corey Davis. You got an experienced Cole. You got Alan Lazard. You got Randall Cobb. Like, he's got veteran weapons on the outside. So I really like where the Jets are headed. And their defense is just locked down. Like, if San Francisco is top right now, I would put the Jets 1B, 1C. But that remains to be seen because I think there's another team that's going to be in that equation for top defense this year.
I still stand behind my prediction. They're going to start off 0-2, though.
I don't think so.
I just
think so.
I think they're going to lose that opener in the Bills. And I think then they're going to go to Dallas, and Dallas likes to show up in week 2. That's just been their pattern.
They're not afraid of Buffalo anymore. After the way they played Buffalo last year, they are not afraid of Buffalo. They if you go back and you think about it, the Jets game is where Josh Allen first initially got hurt.
I don't think it's a matter of
they split with Buffalo last year, so
they did.
The Jets are not worried about Buffalo.
I don't think it's a matter of being afraid of Buffalo. I just think I don't know, just something about Buffalo this year, especially coming off that embarrassing loss. I think
they got something to prove this year as well. I mean, you're talking about Aaron does, so does Josh Allen.
Exactly.
Who's going to be more hungry?
But outside of Diggs, do you trust Gabe Davis?
No.
Like that? You know
Kincaid's
what I'm saying?
Still a rookie.
We don't know
what you're going to get out of him.
Yeah.
Deep post, fly route.
Just defense ain't no slouch. You can put Sauce on Diggs, or you can put DJ Reed over there and give him some help.
You can switch them
over
on
top.
and off.
You can switch. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Buffalo might drop this one just off of their cockiness of thinking that they're supposed to run the East because they got that reputation now. They won week 1 last year. They beat the Rams last year.
Well,
The defending champ.
Yeah.
But that was week 1 though. You know what I'm saying? Like Rams
Week
was
1,
relatively healthy week 1.
Week 1, Thursday night, all the attention. I mean, I think everybody called that one. At least
went
I
to
did.
SoFi and beat the hell out of the Rams.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see that coming. I thought the Rams were gonna make that a ball game, but the Rams just laid it down for them.
Let's switch gears up a little bit, fellas.
Buffalo had that chip on their shoulder because they were still mad about the AFC title game. Yeah, go ahead.
Let's talk about Travis.
Divisional game, my bad. He can golf. He can golf though, low key.
But he just did an article with GQ talking about him being underpaid.
Mm-hmm.
Pull it up real quick. Let me remove this. There you go. My managers and agents love to tell me how underpaid I am. Anytime I talk about wanting more money, they just like, why don't you go to the Chiefs and ask them? And I saw Tyreek go and get $30 million a year. In the back of my head, I was like, man, that's 2 or 3 times what I'm making right now. I'm like, the free market looks like fun until you go somewhere and you don't win. I love winning. I love the situation. What are your guys' thoughts on those comments?
I think it's probably as expected. We've all known Travis Kelce's been underpaid his whole time here. He's never really gotten a big contract. I mean, ever. So I'm not shocked that he would say something like along the lines of that. And then obviously at the end saying that he wants to win. That's why he's staying here and not worried about the money. Obviously, like Mark said, he's golfing. He's doing a lot of other stuff to bring in that money. But I do feel like he has been underpaid his whole time here. I definitely do.
That I agree.
That's true.
That I agree. I mean, I think it's very clear. I mean, he's obviously the best tight end in the league. I mean, we can make an argument for all time, obviously, even so, realistically, people want to talk about looking at what Tyreek Hill did, but let's go back a little bit with Tyreek Hill. He should have got that contract before he even got this one, realistically, but that whole situation came up. But some people are just partial to winning, and that's more so the legacy side of it. I just think for a player like that, you're looking at somebody that's seeing the legacy of it. And I think about people like Orlando Brown, with maybe if he would have re-signed, how much could he built on his legacy? Not saying he won't win another ring, because that's very possible. But Kelce, because of his sacrifice, now he's got 2 and counting. At the end of his career, he could have what? 3, 4, 5. That's just where he's looking at. And kudos to him. He'll be a Hall of Famer. He'll do all that stuff. And I'm pretty sure, even with life after football, I'm pretty sure he's going to be. I mean, dependent kind of guy he is. He might be coaching somewhere and all that stuff, and the money keep flowing. But it's just all about priorities and what he sees important. So kudos to him. I just believe the sacrifice of the money and everything, that'll pay off later in the long run.
Yep.
I got nothing.
No?
I mean, it is what it is. Travis, because of his past, I think, it's always the importance of team first. And you go back to him looking up to his big brother. His big brother has never made it an issue about being paid. He could have said a long time ago up in Philly, hey, I'm the best in my position too. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, max me out. And Jason's never brought that up. You know what I'm saying? So I don't while it's recognizable and people know it, it's really one of those things that it's never been an issue. And that's huge on Travis's part, because Travis has said, he made them jokes on his podcast. He's made those jokes in interviews and things like that in the past, but it's never been a huge concern because he's happy where he is. You know what I mean? Now, if the Chiefs wasn't winning, yeah, it'd be an issue.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because if I'm not winning, I need to be well compensated. But to be in a place where, he's winning his rookie year, like he blew through the entire bag, you know what I'm saying, and was broke. You know what I'm saying? And one off season had to do that reality show because he ain't had no bread. You know what I mean? Like, to be where he's at right now, to have some money in his pocket and be outside and do the things he's doing, Plus, he's winning. Plus, he's the best tight end in the game. You know what I'm saying? It's not a big deal. He's not tripping on that. He's just stating fact, though. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
exactly. He was just saying what we all have known, basically.
Yeah.
And I think that's what the Chiefs were thinking too. Like, that's what made it so easy for them to trade Tyreek Hill because look, we're underpaying Travis Kelce and he's not tripping. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
He could have very well
Yep.
that same season
Mm-hmm.
with Tyreek Hill been like, I want to be the highest paid tight end, and I want a little bit
Mm-hmm.
more because I'm putting up receiver numbers out there. You know what I'm saying? I'm up in the top 10, top 5 sometimes in receiving yards with the likes of Devontae Adams, Stephon Diggs, and some of these other guys. So he could have made a big deal at that offseason too, but instead he took it on the chin and was like, look, as long as this number 15 and Andy Reid's here, I got a chance to win Super Bowls, man. And that's what it's all about. And, when you got somebody like Patrick who's got the same mindset, that's why the chemistry is so cold on and off the field. They think alike. You know what I'm saying? They think about legacy. You see Pat talk about it all the time. Legacy. Like, even though he got a big contract, it was a friendly deal compared to what he could have got. He could have got a whole lot more. He could have said, I want to break the bank. I don't want to be the highest paid quarterback forever. You know what I'm saying? So instead, he was like, we'll structure it in a way where if you guys need to get some money to sign this person, move some stuff around, you got to pay Chris Jones, you got to pay Jerry Sneed, whoever that we need to keep this nucleus going and keep this championship run going. You got to do what you got to do. And I think he got that from Tom Brady because he has a relationship now with Tom Brady. And Tom for years used to do that. You know what I'm saying? For the New England Patriots, he would leave money on the table because, of course, it helps when you got Giselle Bundchen making the money she's making. But still, even before then, he still was like, I want to win a championship. It's all about, being the best, So that's always. Go ahead, man.
Kelce been with nothing but he's just been about winning franchises anyway and everything. That's one thing we can say about people like Pat and Kelce. Obviously, they go all the way back to about 14. I think he joined 13. I think that all they've had is winning records since then. So, the train is rolling. He doesn't know that the whole sub 500 language and all this stuff. That's something you can't speak to when you on a successful team and you're making money and doing all this other stuff. And that's part of why even some of these other players and everything, you kind of think about from that perspective where we're getting paid or not getting as paid and everything, but they're on losing teams. So that's part of the challenges that some of these other key players are dealing with. You're talking about like a DeAndre Hopkins or something like that, it's like they understand their worth and stuff like that because they've been on such bad teams. So I just think Kelce having to be privileged to not have to deal with some of that stuff that actually kind of helped as well for him.
I agree. All right, fellas, let's get into it.
Oh boy.
Top 10 quarterback list. I want to know what your top 10 quarterback list right now is. We're gonna start with you, man.
I ain't even do it, so
List ready.
You got a freestyle.
You're gonna be freestyle. I gotta look at this list and everything because when all you know is Mahomes, Burrow, Jackson, and that's just 3. I could think of you want Tua to be on that list, but that dude gotta be healthy. My goodness, it's the only thing that's just hard debate about that. 49ers don't even have a healthy quarterback, so you can't even put that there. I can't put Russell Wilson on there. Jalen Hurts is on that list, so I'm gonna say that's 4. Stafford got to be on that list. That's 5. Shaky Dak, that dude. He if he on the bottom half of it.
Dak's I had him almost right there, but I didn't put him in the top 10.
We're talking about just right now.
Yeah, just right now. At all times, just right now.
This is 6. Trevor Lawrence has definitely got to be on there. So that's 7.
I think he plays. Never mind.
Aaron Rodgers is going to be on that list just based on what I'm looking at. So I probably gone somewhere between 8 through 10. I didn't go in any particular order, but that's probably in there. I'm just looking at top 8 right now. I don't know if I can even do a top 10.
Go ahead, Ty.
All right. So for my top 10 at number 1, it's obvious. Patrick Mahomes doesn't need it. I don't even need to say why. Number 2, I got Joe Burrow. I think he's the second best quarterback in the league. Obviously, behind Mahomes. I have him above Josh Allen. He's accomplished more to me than Josh Allen, so I'm going to go ahead and put him there. Jalen Hurts at number 3. We've seen what he did last year. MVP candidate, led his team to the Super Bowl, played really well in the Super Bowl. So I'm going to put him at number 3. Number 4, I'm going to go ahead and put Josh Allen. I put Hurts above Allen because I feel like based off of last year, I liked what Hurts did better. At number 5, I'm going to go with Justin Herbert, who somebody in the comments mentioned he's got to be on the list. I'll put him at number 5. Number 6, I've got to put Lamar Jackson. We already know what he can do when he's healthy, and he wasn't necessarily fully healthy for the last couple years, but I think this year, like Chris said earlier, with that receiver core, new receivers coming in, I think he'll be healthier this year, hopefully. If he stays healthy, I got him at 6. Number 7, I'm going to put Trevor Lawrence for all the reasons that we seen last year. He took a step up in Doug Peterson's scheme. It's going to be a second year in that scheme. They're adding another weapon in this year with Calvin Ridley. So I'll put Trevor Lawrence at number 7. At number 8, I'm going to put Aaron Rodgers. Going based off of last year, normally I would probably have him a little bit higher on this list, maybe ahead of a Trevor Lawrence or Lamar Jackson. But based off of last year alone, I'm going to put Aaron Rodgers at number 8. At number 9, and this is kind of a wild card because I'm not really going off of last year. I'm going off of what I think will happen this year. I'm going to put Deshaun Watson. I still think he's a top 10 talent. He's really a top 5 talent. We've seen it at times when he was a top 5 quarterback in the league. So obviously I'll put him at number 9, feeling like he can be, by the end of the season, he could be within the top 5 of this list. And then at number 10, it's probably kind of a shocking pick. I'm going to put Geno Smith. I think what he did last year with Seattle does not get talked about enough when you look at the stats. When you look at the way he played last year with that team, the deep ball was hitting from Geno. He was hitting the underneath stuff. And he had one of the highest completion percentages in the league, if not the highest. So that's why I got Geno Smith, number 10.
Go ahead, Clarence.
Number 1 is the obvious. Number 2, I go with Burrow. Number 3 is Jalen. Number 4, Allen. Number 5, Justin Herbert. Number 6, A-Rod. Number 7, Trevor Lawrence. Scratch that. I'm going to put Dak ahead of Trevor. And then the last 2, Lamar and Deshaun.
All right, I'm going to go, of course, Patrick Mahomes, number 1. Joe Burrows, number 2. I got Josh Allen, number 3. I got Lamar Jackson, number 4. I got Jalen Hurts, number 5. The reason why I got him number 5 because yes, he had a great year last year, but I didn't see him do it. Trevor Lawrence, I got at number 6. Aaron Rodgers, I got at 7. Justin Herbert, I got at 8. Matthew Stafford, I got at 9. And then I got Dak Prescott at 2.
Nobody got Kyler Murray on that list?
Yeah, God. Jump through this.
I ain't gonna put nobody that can barely see over the offensive line and spend more time on Madden than a real game on there. You never be on that list.
No, I think Kyler Murray definitely has top 10 potential, but he's, he got injured last year.
No, the kid is talented. I've seen him make throws, and I'm like, geez. But I've also seen him just be like, what are you doing out there?
Yeah, make very questionable decisions.
What are you doing?
Ran an ally out of Arizona because Cliff Kingsbury was probably the best coach to deal with him.
Yeah, because he's
about
young.
to struggle. Now he's about to struggle.
Man, if I'm Arizona, I'll put him on ice. What's the point of playing him?
Right.
They ain't doing nothing this year. You
right.
might as well take for Caleb Williams, trade Kyler Murray away, and get something for him.
I mean,
Yep.
who's gonna want to pick up that contract?
Somebody. Because if they can't get
I think
year.
the Falcons, if Ritter's.
Because if they can't get them top two,
Falcons not gonna take them.
If they can't get Caleb Williams and what's his name, Drake May, whatever his name is, if they can't get them two, might as well take Kyler Murray.
Yeah, exactly. Because he has the highest potential out of it.
Because I mean, I'm sure, of course, in college football, there's always a quarterback who emerges out of nowhere.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Who's going to jump in the it's going to be the Anthony Richardson effect. You know, they always jump in the top five, whatever.
I think it's going to be the
quarterback. Is crazy.
I just don't know a team that. I mean, it's got to be a team that has just been a fan of Kyler and believe that they can fix him. Because
like I can see the Raiders. I can see the Raiders getting
Josh McDaniels. That is totally.
But
that's
way
terrible.
on the other side of what Josh McDaniels like.
Yeah,
that's totally different.
I think
Josh McDaniels will still be there.
Well, with the
I don't think so. After this
I don't think it's as bad as y'all perceive it to be. It's not that bad.
Oh, it's terrible.
It's not that bad.
With the Raiders,
it's not that bad.
With the Raiders, it's going to be one or two.
It's the Raiders, terrible over there.
Personnel wise, but it's not that bad. It's not as bad as y'all think it is with Josh McDaniels.
Well, the Raiders, though, one or two things going to happen for them the following year. Either McDaniel's going to get fired or they're going to get Caleb Williams. It's going to be one of the two. That's just what I think.
True.
But
or it could be both.
They'll fumble that.
Here's another interesting thing. It was like I know we talking about the top 10. Who you think? What quarterback that you did name do you think has potential to slide to the top 10?
You mean slide out or slide in?
Slide in.
Deshaun Watson.
Okay.
Yeah.
Deshaun Watson.
I'm gonna go with a dark horse. I'm gonna go with Justin Fields.
I agree with that
because I think it's a wide open division up there, up in the north, and he's got a receiving core. I think it's going to be interesting to see what he really can do. It says having him to run for his life. I think we're going to be able to see him at his peak points. I think it's going to be very interesting watching him up north.
I got another one from that division, Jared Goff.
Thank you. I was just going to say that.
That's an interesting story, especially I want to see granted they got Williams suspended and stuff like that, but I do want Detroit to take the next
St. Brown Armand.
Mm-hmm.
They still got some guys over there. And their defense actually got better. So,
does Detroit still take the North?
I don't know.
I think so.
You want to talk about a coin? You want to talk about a coin flip?
That's the division. That's the division.
I think Detroit does just based off of the last stretch of games. You know, you was only as good as your last game. And they were trending. And they're coming in the Arrowhead with a lot of confidence. So I would say Detroit. I think it's going to be a tie between them and Chicago. Who wins that division? I don't have trust in Kirk Cousins ever. So
and
who does?
And I think we don't know what we're going to get with Jordan Love because he has a lot of potential. He has a really high ceiling, a lot of upside, and with that receiving core. Obviously, like you mentioned last year, Clarence, they're young. This year, they're in their second year now. So obviously, playing a full season in the NFL definitely should help that young wide receiver core out. So we don't know what we're going to get out of Green Bay. It's really up in the air with Jordan Love, and that's really what it kind of depends on.
But I saw that comment with Derek Carr, though. But that's also a toss up as well down in the South because. The South and both divisions are absolutely terrible when they play each other this year.
I think it's the Saints division to lose. Personally, I agree. You're dealing with Baker Mayfield. You're dealing with a first-year Bryce Young.
Just throw the South in both divisions. It's bad, and they play each other.
I don't know,
this year.
Chris. I don't know, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because Atlanta has Arthur Smith. Yep. If you go back, Arthur Smith was from Titans, so that team is built in an image of the Titans. Yeah. Look at the tight ends. They got two good tight ends. They got Drake London. They got, You can do whatever with Cordell Patterson. He can play wide receiver. He's gonna play some running back. You got Bijan. You know, they got Calais
What's that other running
to
back
go
they
with
got?
Great Jared Algier.
Yeah,
They got Algier.
Tyler.
Yep.
Yeah, he's nice.
Yep.
That's a
So
toss up.
the only question mark for them is what Desmond Ritter is gonna do. You know what I'm saying? And judging by what Arthur always does, he's gonna get him outside of the pocket on those boots, like they did with Ryan Tannehill when Tannehill came to Tennessee. Gonna put him in situations on those boots and run levels to that side of the field. So you're gonna have level routes, and you pick and choose where it's open at. It's gonna be real easy for him. Have something coming over the backside like a deep drag or a deep over route on the backside. It's gonna be real easy for them.
Yeah.
And they should be able to play extra pass off of it. And their corners are a lot better.
Yeah.
In their secondary. So I don't know. I think it's gonna come down between how well if Derek Carr really immersed himself in New Orleans, which he's a veteran, so he should, but also if Mike Thomas is gonna stay healthy.
Right.
You know, if that offensive line, because I think they got Penning, who's coming back off an injury in New Orleans. If that offensive line can gel, you already know that defense is going to be lights out. You know, that's just what they do. But I think it's going to be a dogfight, at least the first half of the season, between New Orleans and Atlanta. For real.
That whole South is a mess, though. It's like because the fact that they're playing each other, and realistically, if you look at it from a big perspective, Trevor Lawrence, I mean, the only reason why he'll be in MVP discussion because he plays the South divisions on both sides of the ball. So let's just keep a buck there. But with that whole South from the NFC side, I just don't know what we're getting. I mean, you're getting Frank Wright down over in Carolina, and he's usually a pretty good wizard as far as they're making pieces work. You know, you talk about New Orleans, you know, like you said, their defense. I've always been a fan of their defense. It's just more so they just have to be heavily dependent on low-scoring games. But with Derek Carr being in the fold, that could actually change the culture and what that looks like. And Tampa, well, you know, we saw some of their. I'm not sure if you saw some of their clips.
Yeah.
It was
New Orleans actually scores points. Surprisingly,
They do.
They actually put up points.
Even with Andy Dalton last year, they put points.
Yeah, they actually put up points.
They were competitive.
I mean, Chris Olave emerged last year, so
yeah, he did.
And
then Mike
as
Thomas,
far as the AFC
Clarence
South,
said.
I think Tennessee is really going to try to fight the Jags on winning that division because for the longest it was Titans, and the Jaguars just came back and just blew them out of the water last week of the year. Like, I think Tennessee is trying to still say, hey, we still run this division. So that's going to be interesting too.
Yeah.
Those are always good games.
I just don't have no faith in Tannehill.
No.
I don't.
If you go back to running the same or give him some of the same things he did when he first got there, then they can have success. You know, back then it was 2 tight ends. It was physical wide receivers who could run block and play action pass. So if you give him that, you can see that success. But if you don't give him that and you want to spread it out, something that they are unequipped to do in Nashville, they're going to struggle. He's going to look pedestrian. You know what I'm saying? You have to give him 12 personnel in order for him to be successful.
The problem is that when Arthur Smith left.
Yes. Yep.
That's when that offense kind of, even though the following year they was the number 1 seed, but still.
Right.
It always works the first time because they ain't nobody's never seen it. But once everybody caught on to it the following year, it's kind of like, you know, Arthur Smith was just a better play call. It's just like Brian Daboll leaving Buffalo. You know what I'm saying? It's just Arthur Smith he had a connection with Tannehill. He knew what makes it work. And all good coaches know what their quarterback limitations are. He can't do this, but he can do this. If we do this, he'll be successful. You know
that part. So,
we'll see.
Yeah.
I still think that is Jacksonville's division to lose. If Jacksonville don't, run
should
that.
be.
That's a
Yeah, it
disappointing
should
team.
be. It should be.
Considering their opponents and who they play and stuff like that, see 3, 6, 10 of those games against the South. So they should be at least 12-5 at the very minimum.
We've seen week after week, you can't put a guarantee on anything unless you're one of those top teams. Like Jacksonville should, but
especially with the
a late interception, a fumble, a blown coverage late, like those games always come down to who plays mistake-free football in the second half.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Unless you're one of those top teams that can have control from whistle to whistle. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and if you're a Chiefs fan, even with that.
Exactly.
Yeah, look at that Texas game last year, that Colts game.
Yep.
And the thing about the South, I do think both those teams got better, the Colts and the Texans this offseason. They both added pieces.
Definitely the Texans did, yeah. I was impressed with the Texans.
Colts got some gambling problems down there, too.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah,
I'm just crying. I'm praying to God. Please, nobody on the Chiefs. Nobody on the Chiefs. Please, nobody on the Chiefs out here gambling.
No, they ain't got no time. They've been on Super Bowl champion.
Exactly.
Everywhere.
And if it is, hopefully it's Clyde.
You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
They had to make up for COVID year. They didn't get to enjoy that Super Bowl.
Hopefully it's Clyde.
Chris ain't shit. You do know Clyde is possibly gonna make the squad, right?
Hopefully it's just.
You do know
he's
that,
gonna
right?
be on the squad.
You
He's
do
gonna
know
be
that,
on the
right?
squad.
He will be.
You do know that, Chris. Yeah.
They want Deneric Prince to win that position so bad from him.
Look,
they ain't cutting Clyde though, because you just can't cut a first round pick.
No, they're not cutting Clyde.
He's gone, man. He out of here.
You a low down big dog.
He ain't show up to the parade.
He didn't show up to the White House.
He didn't show up to OTAs either, huh, Chris?
No, he was at OTAs. He's front and center at OTAs. He was front and
He
center.
went at OTAs.
He was like,
he's an OTA star.
His days are numbered.
He was like, oh, snap. Isaiah Pacheco right here. Let me get up on in here. Remember me, guys? Remember me?
You need to quit hating on Clyde, bro.
Remember me?
Because
I heard someone going around.
Prince more to Clyde.
If
I heard someone going around.
Back, Clyde was
He's
probably going to be
outshined by
that.
another rookie running back.
I heard a lot of people on Twitter was criticizing Pacheco too.
Man, I was
saying he was just an average running back. I'm like, what?
A lot of people don't watch football, bro. There's a lot of people that don't watch football.
That's what I was hearing. I was seeing a bunch of tweets where everybody was talking about Pacheco was an average running back. I'm like, did you look at the numbers?
There's a lot of people that don't watch football. A lot of people that don't watch football.
Where's PMD?
They don't watch football.
I said, who said that?
Where's
a lot of people don't watch football.
He said it all last season.
A lot of them don't watch football.
I got people tagging me a post saying Pacheco's not special.
Yeah, Joe. Hey.
Stop, man.
There you are. Yes, it was.
Yeah. It was.
It wasn't me this time.
Not this time.
It was
Not
you.
this time.
You wanted Bijan Robinson.
Yeah, he did want Bijan. I told his monkey ass Bijan was
like
coming
a long
to
time ago now.
Told
that
his
feels like
monkey
forever
ass.
ago.
I'm a big Pacheco guy.
I'm a big. Now you are.
Lucky we can't pull up receipts.
That was crazy when I saw that. I'm like, where are these people? Like Clarence said, these numbers. These are seasonals within the season that I don't like.
They don't be paying attention to football. They don't know football, man. They just be talking shit. Well, this person scores touchdowns, so he needs to stay, and this person don't catch a touchdown, so he obviously is trash.
He's a bum. He's just a guy.
And it was funny when everybody.
If you say that shit on Twitter, I block you. I do not. I don't have time for you.
Don't
care.
Trying to use blocking against Pacheco.
Don't block expose. Let us help you out. You said what?
Because y'all don't show up. You see how dirty and foul y'all are. I was at work. I didn't know what was going on. Man,
Then
the
I'll
hell
be
with
at
y'all.
work,
Y'all
man.
don't stand up. Ty, how many times we done had battles with Zim and them? They
Man.
don't show up.
It
They
Bro,
be
gets
quiet
I
as
was
a
personal.
church
at
mouse,
work,
don't they?
and then
They
it'd be
be
like
quiet as a church mouse.
it'd be
They
like
It
5
does
hours,
in the
and
don't
then
chat.
step
and
up.
then
They-
5 hours later, I
Mhm.
look and y'all done went into a full-on war, man. I'm working
Yeah.
over here.
Mhm.
Y'all
I
don't do
work
this
like
on my
that
days
too.
off. Y'all choose to do it on
We don't
Wednesday
know
through
when your days
Sunday.
off.
We choose to
Monday
do
through
whatever.
Tuesday.
Sure, Chris.
We
That's what they
it's up
all say.
whatever.
Wednesday through Sunday is guns a blazing for you too.
That be
It
on
is.
them, man.
Because
Because his
right.
logic don't be making
Wednesdays.
sense. Like
Then I
he
look down.
he always say, Zim always say, it's not about the Chiefs, it's about the Bengals. But every topic, every
It makes no
argument
sense.
stems
It's
from
about
the
the
Chiefs. Every argument is like, okay, so if it's not about the Chiefs, it's about y'all, then why is everything directed at the Chiefs? And it could be the Chiefs fans that he talking to. I don't know. If that's the case, then he pay attention to the right ones. You know, the ones that make absolutely no sense to make him
Mhm.
look right.
Yeah, that's fact.
You know what I mean? Because when you strike a nerve with them, you see they bots come out of nowhere.
That's dude from Germany want to pull up on me still.
Boy, they want your ass. They said your days is number, boy.
Had to leave in the group and everything.
Some folk though, they don't even be know what they talking about though. I seen people talking about them Chiefs forums.
Clarence left that group in about 2 minutes. He
Like
got
months
in-
ago, like 8 months ago.
He got in
So
there for
did,
2
man.
minutes. Saw 2 comments.
Man,
He's like, I'm out.
yeah,
Oh,
man, because it got crazy. Within them 2 minutes, I'm like, nope, I'm not doing that.
He said,
I'm
out.
not.
The
I'm
dude
not.
was like,
No.
you shouldn't be that sensitive.
Yeah. Then I leave
I'm
and they
done.
call me sensitive, but they're tweeting at me because I'm not in there.
They
Yeah,
miss you.
I'm not doing that.
They miss you.
I'm not doing that.
But
I'm
you
not
was
doing that
active.
with
You was
them.
real active in there.
I bet he was.
I say my
Tabby
little
talk
comments
more.
in the
Tabby,
Pull out.
man, listen.
because that pull you in. It will pull you in.
Tabby on one, I'll be like, ooh, that's spicy.
He be up
Ooh,
in them,
that is spicy.
he was up in that group fight. PMD wanted to smash you, boy.
Oh
Pull
my
up.
God.
Talking about meet him up at Starbucks.
Come
He
on,
wanted
bro.
to beat you up. Patrick Mahomes'
Come
fifth
on.
cousin wanted to knock you out.
Come on.
Not even that serious. He didn't get paid to do all that.
Hey, that dude, Patrick Mahomes' fifth cousin. He been messing with Ty since like the season was going,
I
bro.
know.
Yeah,
But
it's like
answer the
January.
question. Answer the question. Do you don't know how to answer the question? Answer the question. I'm like, damn, why you so hostile?
You
Just
know how
angry,
I feel about
man.
it. You know how
Yeah,
I feel about NXB.
They talk about Ty like he only 2 feet tall. My goodness.
Yeah, they do.
Jeez.
They be talking crazy, man.
Yeah, man.
You're like,
Yeah, man.
You know how I feel about NXB.
Like this 4 foot nothing little kid look like he work at the AMC movie theater. He's saying, I'm like, why you gotta say all that? It's not even necessary.
Personally,
it does.
Oh, goodness. I'm gonna start.
All Ty say is Pacheco is the starting running back. Man, I'll knock you out. So, God damn. Whoa. Slide up on you. Slide on you right now, Tony.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
got the choppers in the trunk.
Straight out. He be making them hot, man.
I'd be like, whoa, man. I just said
They be-
Pacheco was the starter.
And then no, he hit him with the "You're gonna talk that way to a kid."
Yeah.
Right.
That's my favorite line because they're gonna say all that, and then I'm like, man, you want to pull up on me?
You gonna say that
Make
to a
no
little
sense.
kid?
That's my favorite line to hit him with.
My goodness.
Oh, shit.
Y'all
Yeah,
so
it be wild, man. It gets out of control quick.
You Clarence, you think you slick. You be looking
What?
for it. You act like you don't look for it, but you be
Hey,
looking
man,
for
all the time. All the time I do. I admit it, though.
I'm ready.
I
you
admit
trying
it.
to be all this mature unplugged.
Nah, I wake up on that time, bro.
As soon as the
Nah,
action starts,
I'll be in there, dog. Yeah, I'll be in there because sometimes they be just saying they go too far with that dumb shit. And I'm like, nah, we're not doing this. Not on my timeline. If I got to read it, I'm gonna comment.
Yeah. I agree.
Y'all should know better.
Just gonna use one of my rate limits that I gotta.
You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna give you that smoke then, because obviously
Elon
that's
Musk,
what you
you
need
out of
to
line
know.
for that.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he a low down dirty bastard for that.
Great.
Rate limits.
For
Also,
what?
you can buy so people can buy that check mark. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Because if you notice, the people that have a check mark, they get like 8,000 or 6,000 a day. The people that don't have a check mark only get like 600 a day.
It's gonna be trash during football season.
Unless you buy the check mark.
I'm not buying it. Bro. I got a check mark for our account.
Yeah, I'm not
For
spending
the
$8 on
Arrowhead
no
Chiefs.
Twitter, man. I'm not spending $8. Nope.
Not even that serious.
I got kids, bro. I got kids. Ain't got time for no damn Twitter check mark. No. You know what I'm saying? $1, yeah, but why Elon need $8? What do you need that money for? It's for my stripper fund. Strippers and coke on Saturday evenings. It's a fine glass of Merlot.
Only on Arrowhead Chief Podcast. You hear Elon Musk strippers.
It's a nice glass of Merlot. 8-ball from Teddy down the street.
I wasn't even going to talk about it. I was going to skip it, but we can talk about it real quick before we go. It was funny to listen to the AFC West Spaces the other day, man. It was just hilarious. Mark, you missed it.
Yeah, this must be.
They were arguing amongst each other, and it was just funny. Like, you guys are really over here arguing over second and third place.
Yeah.
That's on the Cincinnati.
They was getting personal too. Like,
they was.
They talking about each other's mamas and stuff. Like, whoa, hold on now.
It was arguing over second.
It always go there. It always goes there.
Then the Chargers.
I don't get it.
Then they try to be slick, try to sneak out. We gonna get y'all. We gonna split with the Chiefs this year. Man, won't y'all try to beat the injury report this year? Right. Beat that this year.
Didn't Mike Williams get hurt in the playoff game against the Jags?
No, he got hurt.
That game.
No, he got hurt
the game before the game.
The game before.
He shouldn't even have been out there
because Staley played all the starters.
That's right. That's right.
It didn't mess up their positioning.
That's right.
If they had Mike Williams, they probably win that game.
Well, they had a lead on Jacksonville.
They still had no business playing half. Yeah, the second half.
Yeah.
But, the Chargers. The Chargers were a first half team last year. And then the defensive coordinator would figure out the scheme because it was so remedial. He would figure out the scheme, and then next thing you know, they can't score. That's what happened with us.
The last 2 years.
They get hot in the first half. And in that second half, they couldn't do nothing.
They collapsed. Yep.
In the last 2 years, the Chargers had the worst record, I think, after the first half.
It's just the first half front runners, man.
Yeah.
Because every time you see it, Kellen, what's his name? What's the receiver name?
Oh, Keenan Allen.
Keenan Allen. He'd be on the sideline smiling, laughing and stuff. And then at the end of the game, dejected. You know what I'm saying? Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce did it to you again.
They'll be over there throwing.
Dejected.
Did it to you again.
I'm interested to see Jawan Taylor, how he react to Bosa this year, though.
Yeah.
He had Bosa hot last year. I thought Bosa was gonna kill that man. I'm serious, man. He was holding all kinds of shit against Bosa last year.
He was kicking out like 3 seconds early before.
Yes, dog. Yes, and I'm like, there's no way. I thought Bosa was really gonna kill him. Like, he was hot, man.
The Chargers sent that tape to the league offices.
Oh yeah, they did.
That this year.
They did. Yeah, absolutely.
That's what I was looking at when they were talking about. He only had like one time where he had allowed a sack or whatnot. And I'm like, okay, first of all, we're talking about the AFC South. Then I looked at that game. I said, "This doesn't alarm nobody."
Yeah,
I'm like, you're gonna have an advantage in the second half. You got about a good 3 seconds.
He did the same thing against the Cowboys too.
Yep. He did the same thing against us.
Yeah.
Frank Clark was getting annoyed with it too.
I don't know.
That is hilarious. Fighting over second place. That is hilarious. Who fights over second place? It's like the record speak for itself. Don't speak enough.
I think it's gonna come down to Denver and the Chargers, out of one of those two teams will make it back to the postseason.
Yeah.
The Chargers will either make it back or Denver will get in. I think that's just a Sean Payton effect.
The crazy part is that we got to play them in the middle of that season. We got to play Denver, Chargers, Denver. So those three games will be interesting. They ain't gonna lie to you. The way they sandwich us in between them games. So we'll see.
I think Jerry Jeudy has a bigger year this year too.
Yeah, with Sean Payton calling the plays.
Yeah, I think Jerry Jeudy is going to have a
He's
really
got to
good
stay
year.
healthy too.
I mean, let's not fool ourselves. I mean, let's not act like when we play Denver, like the games ain't close.
Smoke them
they
every
be close.
Right.
They ain't close. Like even Chargers games be like to the wire. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it ain't not like it's just that it's still fun though. Still fun. But let's not.
If they get homeboy back, who completely tore up his knee. That's the
they say he's supposed to be back.
But he tore every ligament in his knee.
Tore it. Yeah.
I wouldn't be
they could use
surprised.
Dalvin Cook.
That's what I'm saying. Now, I would go get Dalvin Cook just for insurance policy purposes.
Yes.
Yeah, I would get Dalvin Cook.
They can use Dalvin
because that way you could just slowly put him back into the offense. And by
you wouldn't have to exactly.
He's rolling.
He was fully ready to go.
Yeah. Because it's going to take him a full year to get back to himself anyway.
Yeah, he's
not going to be him until
somewhat early in the year last year. Though I do feel like it was like week 4.
Yeah, but them ACL
it might have been earlier than that.
It's mentally, bro.
Yeah,
it's not so much physically; it's mentally.
Right. Look at Chase Young.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Breece Hall too. I think it's probably going to take him at least a couple weeks into the season.
Yeah. He's going to start on pup. Yeah. They're going to slowly bring him back.
Yeah.
That's why Aaron going to get hot the first half until he is back, and you know what I mean. Like probably
they'll still have a running game
early November.
Like you said,
they're going to have that identity.
They still got Michael Carter Jr.
And Zonovan Knight is an underrated running back too. He, as a rookie last year, once Breece Hall went down, he stepped up a lot.
And, homeboy, they AC or OC, he liked to run that play action. So
Tim Patrick coming back will help them.
Yeah. I think out of him, Sutton, and Jeudy, I think it's Jeudy though.
Yeah. Judy's the more talented one out of all three of them.
Yeah.
I mean, we knew that. I mean, coming out of Alabama, we always thought he was the most talented one out of that trio coming out of Alabama. So it was just, he never had Drew Lock on that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And he's had different OCs, different head coaches, and he struggled to stay healthy a few times.
That's what I was hoping that the Giants had got a hold of at least Dayball. Right.
Yeah.
He would help Daniel Jones out a lot too. So
yeah, for real.
Get him out of our division.
Yeah, that too. He does good against us. I ain't gonna lie to him.
He does.
All right.
I'm not gonna lie. Trip McDuffie did struggle a little bit against
Duffy over there.
Give
him another chance, baby. Let's lock him down.
Yeah.
Trent's special though. He is special.
I asked the question last week. Pro Bowl, All Pro.
For this upcoming year?
Yeah.
Probably definitely Pro Bowl, probably second team All Pro. I mean, I have big expectations for the defense as a whole though. I think it's potentially top 5.
It's gonna be the best defense Patrick Mahomes ever played with.
Absolutely.
And that's dangerous. That's to scare everybody.
Absolutely.
That's to scare all of y'all.
Absolutely.
You get Patrick Mahomes the ball back?
Absolutely. Man. Yep.
You're giving him an opportunity to score again?
Yep.
Now we can start talking about blowouts.
Yeah, for real. Especially against that team in Cincy.
Yeah, that way.
You know what I'm saying? Because you notice, you can even go back and watch the cut-ups. I think Brian Baldinger made about Trent. Half of that cut-up was against the Bengals. He was showing how he was just locking Chase up. You know what I'm saying? So
even in that first game when they put Chase on his side, he couldn't do nothing. He went over there on Joshua Williams. And even though Joshua Williams, he be right there. It's just him just having more confidence, turning his head around, and all that good stuff. So, Trent just different. You know, that's why he's the first round pick.
Different. Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
He knows he's good at playing that sideline too, because even with T. Higgins, who's a bigger guy than him, he knew how to lead him to the sideline. Even if he caught the ball, he pushed him outside. So
and he did that with Jamar Chase too.
Yeah.
That's a veteran move right there. So when he was a rookie and I seen him doing that, I was like, yeah, he's special. Because I mean,
and
not everybody can do that.
That wasn't a hold. That should have been an interception.
No.
Thornhill.
That changes that game too. It was bad calls in the games we played against them.
It wasn't as bad as the first
Both
one.
the times up there. First one was God.
They was just calling flags just to be
That's why it's so huge for them to have to come to Arrowhead this year. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you're not getting those.
Since he lost something with P-Ron, they lost something in their secondary, losing both of their safeties. You know, and let's be honest, Cleveland. Okay, if you want to point to Cleveland, but let's not forget, Deshaun was coming back late in the year. You know what I'm saying? There's something to that. You know what I'm saying? His last full season, his last full body of work led the league in passing. Okay? He's going to a team that can run the football. He's got great wide receivers in Amari Cooper and Elijah Moore. Great tight end. Solid defense. That's just Cleveland. You go to Pittsburgh ain't they had on defense. We're not even going to talk about Baltimore because we've already discussed it. So for the Bengals to think, for them to think that they can make it out of that division easily and win a number 1 or number 2 seed, they're fooling themselves because they haven't consistently beat the Ravens when Lamar has been the quarterback, number 1. They just barely beat Baltimore by a fumble last year in the postseason. Just barely beat the Ravens by that much.
By stupidity. Let's call for what it was. It was stupidity.
By a fumble. By a fumble.
You know, honorary.
They went to Pittsburgh.
Don't get me started.
They struggled against the Steelers, and they split with Cleveland last year. With Jacoby Brissett beat them last year. You know what I'm saying? So for the Bengals to think that every team in the AFC should just stop and take notice, y'all got to deal with y'all division because y'all division is no joke. And I would say it's probably the toughest division in the AFC. Proven so far. You know what I mean?
And I really do think D-Hop is going to be in Cleveland. I really do. If D-Hop goes to Cleveland, on the other side,
Amari Cooper?
With Cooper, that's going to be a problem.
Cooper and Elijah Moore. Elijah Moore got a boulder on his shoulder right now.
Yeah, he does.
He's so pissed.
And you got then you got that kid Cedric Tillman they drafted him like
Yeah.
And speaking on Hopkins, I still think Hopkins could be in Kansas City when this is all said and done.
If he take a pay cut,
he take a cut.
If he's still on that price tag, you don't need him number 1.
Take this $3 million and get the Super Bowl ring, son.
I just don't because typically
you're not gonna take it. You're not gonna take it.
I just don't. When you sign
to come over here and play the Super Bowl, sir.
I just don't. When you get an agent, somebody like Clutch Sports involved and stuff like that, they're not looking for nickels and dimes. They're looking for something. I just don't believe it.
I think that girl
over
there, the Nicole chick, she be getting everybody deals.
Oh yeah.
The black chick, she be getting everybody deals. She ain't accepting no $3 million for Dion.
Exactly.
Yeah, Clutch is like in an all-out war right now versus another agency. So they're definitely trying to get the best deals they can get right now to make themselves look better.
Yep.
I mean, Cleveland, like Cleveland was always the team that I said should be interested in D-Hop. From the very beginning, like I said, it made a lot of sense for him to go to Cleveland. You know what I mean? Because you could put him with Amari, who's the possession, Elijah Moore, who is like a huge X factor. Like, I mean, you put the ball in that dude's hands, and it's something special every time he touches.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So D-Hop being there would only make them that much more formidable. You know, especially competing against a Cincy team who swears to God they have the best wide receiver room in the league. Which I mean, right now they do. I'll give them that. They do. You know what I'm saying? But Cleveland could be up there. I think Baltimore is going to be up there if everybody stays healthy. Bateman come back, he's healthy. Zay Flowers and Odell, I think they'll have one of the top wide receivers in the league too.
It's just when if you add D Hop to a team like that, and then you still got to worry about Nick Chubb, he's like you got to pick your poison. You want to try and load the box, try and stop Chubb, and hopefully not get burnt over the top. Good luck.
Especially when you don't have a
Elijah Moore will
Kareem.
beat you deep.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And they don't have Kareem no more, so you asking Nick Chubb to stay on the field a little bit more. So yeah, get him some more help on the outside. Get him some more help. You know.
Speak of Kareem, where is Kareem?
And Donovan Peoples-Jones is an underrated receiver
still sitting there.
It'll be a late, training camp.
Week 1.
Zeke's still sitting there. Kareem Hunt, Dalvin Cook, all these running backs are still out there.
Zeke need to take the hometown deal, and go back to Dallas.
Yeah.
He need to go back to Dallas, dog. Let Tony Pollard be the RB1. Come in and pass protect. Get you a couple carries.
Didn't they take old boy from K-State, though, a running back, too?
They took him, yeah. But would you rather him or Zeke pass protected for your quarterback?
Right now, I definitely want Zeke.
When Zeke is proven, Zeke will put his helmet in your chest and blow you up.
Yeah, Zeke need to change that last moment narrative, because that's a pretty bad narrative he has right now for it to be his final play when he got blown up. That's all bad. But we'll see. Like I said, injuries, all that stuff that happens.
All right, fellas, let's go ahead and land this thing. Look down at the bottom. You see the website for locker room access of all the podcasts under the Every Morning Quarterback umbrella. You got the Chiefs podcast. You got Chargers podcast, Patriots podcast. You got our podcast, Arrowhead Chief podcast. If you click on the banner, you can see all of our recent episodes, recent and past. Go ahead and hit us up, subscribe. Also, look at their podcast on YouTube. They also got a league, talk about everything league-wide. They talk about betting. They talk about college football. So go ahead and hit them up. And whatever streaming platform you use, Arrowhead Chief Podcast is on there, whether it be Spotify, Apple, Google, Stitcher, Breaker, whatever streaming platform you use, Arrowhead Chief Podcast is on there. And if you're on the YouTube channel, go ahead and hit that like, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification button if you're new. Go ahead and do that for us. And whatever social media website you use, whether it be Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, or TikTok, go ahead and hit us up, follow us. We'll follow you back because Clarence, can you hear me? What's our motto?
Oh, we ain't Hollywood over here, man.
Yeah, we're not Hollywood. We're fans just like y'all. So go ahead and hit us up, and we'll holler back at you, follow you back.
Just don't tell Chris your name, because you gonna butcher.
I'm going to butcher your name, but hey, it's all love. That just lets me know that you're part of the family. You know what I'm saying? That's your initiation, me messing your name up.
The new motto should be, we don't fight over second place.
That too.
Yeah.
Losers.
That too. But go ahead, hit us up. But remember, talk to us nice and normal, or we'll send Ty to the doorstep.
The kid.
No, but for real. Hit us up, man. Give us feedback. You know what I'm saying? Give us whatever questions, whatever. We're trying to give you all the best Chiefs content on this show. Training camp is coming up soon. We're excited.
Yes, sir. 2 weeks.
We're gonna talk about some camp. We're gonna talk about some camp battles probably in the next show. So stay tuned. All right. Until next time. We out.
We out.
Be easy.